out the sign in the background. Hope you can see it clear. And that is welcome to What's in Your Hand Woodworking. So I've been working on this from yesterday. This is actually my family values. So for our family values, we have faith, organization, and preparation. So these are what we are aiming to be our core family values. So what I want to do today is that I'm going to put these keyhole hangers on it. And last night, for some reason, I decided that I want to change the lettering. So I want to use the letters to make them white. You know, that's what I'm going to do. But first I'm going to put on the letter holder. It's a bit cold, so I'm drinking some tea. Yeah, so first I'm going to get the key holders, the anchors for the to hold this picture frame. So let me measure down on this about 1.5 inches by 3 inches. So that's 3 inches by 1.5 inches. 3 inches by 1.5 inches. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use my 1 inch fastener bit. 1 inch, yeah. And then my 3/8. So that's 1 inch and then 3/8. I'm going to use both of these. So let me get this right here. So let me get this right here. That should be just a little bit more. That should be good enough. Let me go down a little bit more. That should be good enough. And then the same on this side. Yeah, let me go down a little bit more here. Then I'm going to get my 3/8 bit. Place back the tools that you're not using in its case. So I'm going to get my 3/8 bit. And then I think the 3/8 bit is going to be too small. So let me get my 1/2 inch bit, I should say. 1/2 inch, not 3/8. My 1/2 inch bit. Yeah. So I get my 1/2 inch bit now, and then I'm going to bore this. You can get the keyhole hangers that I'm going to use on you can get these keyhole hangers on Amazon, or you can use one of those rotor jig with a keyhole bit, or you can buy those those are the fasteners at Home Depot or Lowe's or any other you live nearby. I use these because I believe they are more easier to use. As a matter of fact, I haven't set up my rotor table as yet due to space. So I do have one, but I've not used it to its full capacity since I got it. Yeah. So it's Friday, guys. We have a lot to rejoice for. It's Friday. I know some may not get pay. Some may get pay and they're not satisfied with their pay. But nevertheless, we managed to make it to Friday. And for some, that means no work tomorrow. For me, there's no work tomorrow. So I'm always happy when it is Friday, because I get the opportunity to rest. So these are what I'm talking about. This is what I'm going to use. I'm going to use these as my hanger. Oh, this looks like I have to use a little bit bigger bit. So I'm going to use the 5/8. So now I know exactly the two bits that whenever I'm going to use this type of hangers for any frames that I make in the future, or letter or key holders in the future, that I'll use the 1" and then the 5/8 bit. So that's 1" then 5/8. Yeah. So that's one. You use 1/8, 1/8, and then the 5/8. So yesterday I had a discussion with my wife, and she was saying that it seems as if I am with like down with the burned finish mostly, and I haven't really thought about it, but seeing that she mentioned it to me yesterday, I was like, maybe I need to think again if that's the case. So yeah, so now I'm going to screw this down. Yeah, screw it down. So I'm going to actually use these screws to screw in this in place. So this is actually the first thing that I want to do to get this part up, because the next process, when I turn it over, you'll actually see exactly what I'm working on. Let me move this drill out of the way. So that's one down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, sometimes you have to look carefully. The way I did it a while ago, it would definitely not work. I had screwed the hangers wrong. So it's a good thing I realized before I actually before when I'm going to try to attempt to put it up on the wall. That's when I would have realized that I did not screw it on properly in the first place. But it's a good thing that I recognized and was able to get that sorted out. So it's a bit windy today and also chilly. That is why I'm here outside. I have my tea, my famous teacup. Drinking some tea to keep myself warm. Yeah. Actually, I also have a surprise build that I want to start today. I saw a cutting board on Etsy that was built from pine, an end grain cutting board, and I actually like the way how the grain variations, the grain patterns were, and I decided that I want to make at least one or two of those boards. The beauty about it is that I got some pine board that I'm going to use from a building that I was working on. The boards are actually over 100 years old, so they are well dried out. So I'm going to use that to make the cutting board. As soon as I'm finished with this wall art of the family values, I'll move on to that to see if I can actually get the first stage of the glue up. So with this out the way, I'm gonna put this aside. With this out the way, I can move on to the next phase of this build. Oh, I'm going to show you what I'm making. Literally going to show you right now. I'm going to turn it around so you'll be able to see it. Big up from California. Prayer to you and your family. Thanks very much for that. Definitely praying for my family also, because since the hurricane, I haven't really heard from my mom, but I know she's okay. So I am keeping her in my prayers, and my other family members. You know, definitely doing that, because I'm a man of faith, and I believe that God is able to keep us, you know, especially in times of disasters, when people find it very difficult to trust Him at those type of times. I believe that's the time we need to trust Him more, because when I saw the devastation that took place on the island of Jamaica, where I'm from, my heart goes out to those who are, you know, suffering now, especially those who would have lost everything. Not everything, because the only way you lose everything is if you lose your life. But once you have life, then you can work to accomplish maybe not everything that you lost, but you can accomplish some of those stuff that you lost, that you would have lost. So you just have to keep hope. So what I'm working on is this. I'm working on this. So this is a wall art that I'm making. On this, it's really my family values. So the first thing on my family values is faith, and the next is organization. So we have to be organized, and after you're organized, then you have to make the preparation. So I think we use both words, even though they carry similar meanings. to use for our family values. So what I want to do now is that I want to change the color of the letters so that they are more visible. I tried something and I didn't like the way it turned out. I tried to burn the letters, and to me it seems to be a little bit dark. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use this acrylic paint to paint the letters in white. So I'm going to paint the letters white. Yeah, I think I'm liking that more. So I'm going to paint the letters white. So I've been working on this from yesterday, but sometimes you have to pause and take the time out to look at what you're working on so that you can come up with different ideas in terms of the finish that you want and what you're expecting. So I decided to paint the letters white because, you know, white stands for purity. Yeah. So that's what I've been working on. And yeah, definitely. Thanks for saying that you're keeping Jamaica, that small island, in your prayers. It is definitely needed at this time as the country goes through the aftermath of one of the most devastating storms that the country had to face. Unfortunately for me, or not unfortunately, this time around I wasn't on the island to face this hurricane. But I've gone through a couple of hurricanes. I was a youngster when Gilbert passed through. I was probably about 7 to 8 years old at the time. So I would have experienced Gilbert. And I would have also experienced Ivan, a couple of tropical storms. But this one would definitely be the worst in terms of damages, I think, or maybe damages done to the country. But I believe that the country will bounce back. So, it just takes a little time in the rebuilding phase. And the truth about life is that some of the time when we are faced with crises as a nation, the people unite more. I can remember in 2001 when America would have had that terrorist attack in New York. The people, they united together and start their rebuilding phase immediately. So similarly, I think the Jamaica will, you know, go through a similar phase in terms of uniting and start that building phase in terms of building up back the country, you know, because definitely the island of my birth and I love my country, and I am hoping that, you know, things will work out for the best of the best for the country. Yeah, let me check on the chat again. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely make you something like this. Definitely can make you something like this. Yeah. You just have to give me, you'll just have to give me a way how I can contact you. so that we can make the arrangements. From time to time I make these. These are like my fun projects. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You know, during times of crises, people sometimes or most of the time tend to unite, and even enemies unite to make sure that everybody is okay. And I believe that's something that will take place in Jamaica at this current moment. But it's just one of those days. At one particular stage, I was praying that the storm would have, you know, do like other storms that threaten the country and just move on. But then I realized that other people in other countries are praying the same prayer. And this time around, the storm actually hit. Not that I had wanted it to, but just that's the way it worked out. But still optimistic and hoping for the best in this recover phase after the storm. Yeah. So can you guys see my sign in the background? So that's actually the name of my channel, What's in Your Hand Woodworking. And the main reason why I gave the channel this name is that, as you can see, I'm working from my backyard. Not really a fancy shop to say, but in life you have to start from somewhere and you have to start with what you have. So that is why I gave the name of this channel, What is in Your Hand Woodworking. So I try to work with stuff, boards that are discarded. I purchase boards sometimes, but I try to use boards that would have been discarded or gone to the dumpster to make something to give it a new life, you know, like to give it a new life and a new home. Sometimes I call it like from trash to treasure. Yeah, so that's what I do. Sometimes I call it that. And especially since I've always liked to work with my hands from I was growing up, you know, so I find great joy doing this. And that is why I also encourage people to, you know, find something that you love and dedicate some time to it and work on it to perfection, or to get to a state where you just feel, you know, comfortable with what you're doing. So for me, I am a self-taught woodworker. I used to learn it when I was going to high school back home, but I didn't actually finish learning everything in terms of woodworking. I went on to learn a couple other skills, you know, because I'm in the construction field. So what I've done now, I've started to take this thing serious during the pandemic in 2020 thereabout. That's when I decided that I'm going to, you know the saying, you're never too old to learn. So that's when I pick up back this task and decided that I'm going to dedicate some time to mastering this craft. So far, I believe I'm doing well. I've made a couple stuff, and you know, I am getting there one day at a time. So my dreams really is to have a shop where I can do more in terms of get more stuff done. Sometimes it's kind of difficult for me, especially since it's going to get cold. It's already cold now, but this cold is kind of bearable for me now. For some reason, I think I have assimilated a little bit. Coming from the tropical climate, I have assimilated a little bit to this coldness, and seemingly I'm able to bear it to some extent. But so what I want to do is that I want to have a shop where when it is winter or when the days are too hot, I will be still able to do stuff. But that is a journey that I am on right now, and in order for me to reach my goal, I have to just continue to, do what I'm doing, and especially when you guys subscribe to this channel, you also keep encouraging me not to give up on my dreams and to pursue them. So that is why from the initial stage when I just started this channel, I truly appreciate, not just appreciate, but I love every single person who choose to subscribe to this channel. It's not one of those channels that is so fancy, but I'm doing my thing. I'm working with what I have and continuing to improve on my craft on a daily basis. So there are things that I know now that I didn't know when I just started. And some of you guys that came along on some of the lives, you also gave me encouragements, give me also tips that I start to put into practice. So as you can see, I'm building a community that seeks to support each other. So that's what I've been doing since lately. Yeah, I think this is coming out exactly how I want it to. The letter is white. Yeah. Sweet. When I'm finished, you will be able to see the letters more pronounced. At first, I was thinking about pouring epoxy into the letters, but I changed my mind. You know that epoxy is a bit expensive, so I decided to use the acrylic paint. The acrylic paint to paint the letters. So far, I'm definitely liking the way how this is turning out. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely liking the looks of this. Yeah. So what I'll have to do when this, I have to make this dry out a little bit. Then I'm going to sand it down. Yeah. But yeah. What's the temperature like where you guys are now? Is it warm, cold, breezy, windy? For me, I think it's somewhere in the 50s, like 57 where I'm at now. That's a bit cold. When I just came to this country, I could not manage this temperature. I would have to cloak up myself, but for some reason, I think I am coping better, a little bit better now. So, as a matter of fact, the last time I went back home, I couldn't even stand the heat. But I think I went down the wrong time though, so because I was here working outside in the winter in December, and I went down in December. Man, I got sick same time. So because of the heat. So yep. Yeah, I think I'm getting what I'm looking for now. Yeah. Yeah. So this is how it's going to basically look for the time being. So I have to put this down to dry. But I'm going to work on the next one that I made. Yeah. So this one is more likely for my shop. This is what I've been asking you guys to do. Let me paint it and then I can show you. I think I'm going to go for a darker color. Going for the black. Yeah, I think they say when you make black with white, you get what, a grayish color. So I think that's what I'm going to get now, a little bit like a gray color. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I've been asking you guys to do. Whenever I'm live, I always ask for your guys' support in terms of, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, to do so. That is one way how to help me grow and to grow this community. Yeah. So I've always been asking you guys this. So I made a sign especially to put on my backsplash, because this is going to be my backsplash. It's my fence. It's my fence, but this is actually my workshop that I work from. So you will be able to see it. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. So you'll be able to see it better when it is dry, and I sand it down so you can see. So this is what I've been asking you guys to do. Let me show you. So if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, now is the perfect time to do so. I need to check out your channel. Is that what? Platinum Part? Let me write it down so I can check out your channel. Oh yeah. Definitely so. So this is what I've been asking you guys every time when I go live. So if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, you can do so. That's one way of helping to build this community. So far, I had initially had a goal at the start of when the year started. I had planned that I wanted to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, and today I am one step closer to that 1,000 goal. When I started this live, I was somewhere about 913 to 911 thereabout subscriber, and each and every subscription brings me one step closer to that goal. So what I'm planning on doing is that each and every year I want to set a goal and to see how best I can work towards that goal during the course of the year. So for this year, that's what the goal that I had initially set, to reach 1,000 subscriber. So that's basically the goal that I had set for this year. So while these are drying, I'm going to move to the next phase of this live. I don't know if you remember that I said to you that I had initially wanted to make a cutting board with pine, and this is a pine board that I have. So I got this off a roof. So this was on a roof that was built in 1840 to 1843 thereabouts. So this board is like 100 and something years old. So I want to keep it, but I'm going to turn it into a cutting board, and then the other parts of it I'm going to use for something else. So let me get my glasses. Let me get my glasses. Let me get my glasses. Set up this saw. Set up this saw. Let me turn the camera so you can see what I'm actually doing now. So now I'm going to rip these boards down first, and then I'm going to take them to my jointer planer. So first let me get some measurement on this to see. So that's 4 3/4. Yeah, for this one it's 4 3/4. So I'm going to rip this down 4 3/4 on my table saw. Let me bring up the blade. Okay, good. So let me set my fence to 4 3, 4 3/4, 4 3/4. That's how I say it in Jamaica. 4 3/4. I think up here they say 4 3/4. I might not be getting it, but I think I am close. So now I'm going to rip this down. So I know a lot of people are scared of table saw. So I'm going to show you something soon. I'm just ripping down these. I'm going to keep this piece because I want to use it for what you call it on I'm going to use this for on a coffee table that I'm building. So I'm keeping these parts. So these are the pieces that I'm going to use to make the cutting board. So let me rip down the other piece. Let me check the measurement just in case to make sure it's the same. Yeah. Okay, so I have these now. So what I want to do is I want to get my miter saw and cut down the edges. Let me put this aside to show you guys what the end grain look like. Yeah. Definitely show you guys what the end grain look like on this. Just to give you an idea of how the boards are going to look. So if you look right here, you can have an idea of what the end grain is going to look like when you mix up the patterns. So first I have to take this to my thickness planer, just cutting off these edges. So there you can see. So this board is perfectly dry. I believe that these boards are going to turn out to look lovely. I can just envision how they're going to look. Yeah. Definitely seeing the end product already. Yep. So that's, I think I might be getting 2 cutting boards out of this. Yeah. So yeah. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to my jointer planer with these boards. Yeah. Go over to my jointer planer. Going over to my, let me drink some tea. Show you guys what I'm doing over here. Yeah. So I'm going to get some edge on these. Basically, this is what I'm doing with these. I'm cleaning them down. So this is one piece down. Just want to see something with the two that I have planed down. So I hope you're seeing this. So yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is that I'm going to rip these down into smaller pieces so I can flip the grain variation to give me a pattern. That's when I make the cutting board. So I still have some more work to do in terms of with these pieces. So I'm just really flattening them out on my jointer. So I've gone 2 pieces. I have 2 more pieces to go. And then I'm going to go back to my table saw to cut them down to the actual size that I want. So that's basically what I'm doing now. Yeah. Yep. So I'm 1 step closer to my goal. So this is the last piece. Yeah. This piece look like it cannot use. To cut it up first. I'll have to cut up this piece first. I don't like how it looks. So so I'm going to go back to my table saw. Let me make the preparation for it. Going back to the table saw. Yeah. Take my camera back over. See, I don't have a cameraman, you know, so I have to be moving back and forth with my tripod. One day I'll be able to have a cameraman to follow my every movement. So you see that I am dreaming big. I have big dreams. So now I'm going to bring it up closer to the table saw. Yeah. Show the actual thickness of these board. Bring up the blade a little bit. So that's that. See if all of them is the same. I want to cut this like 2 inches. Yeah. Cut this 2 inches. Not going to run my finger close to that blade. Definitely believe in the future I need all 10 digits. So let me get my little push block. Might be just ripping down these to size because I think I might have to pass them through my jointer planer. Two inches. Let me check the actual. That's what I should do first to ensure that I'm cutting them in 2. Oh, so that's 4 1/4. So I need it to be 2 1/8. Yeah, 2 1/8. Yeah. So that's the preferable measurement. Attach it again. Okay. So this is basically, let me see now. So I'm trying to set the grain variation how I want it. So that's, yeah. Yeah, I think this is giving me, yeah, just about what I want. So what I'll be doing now is that I'll be going to the jointer planer again. This time to let me mark this, the actual orientation that I want it. Yeah. So let me mark these. So I'll be going back to the jointer planer again this time. One more time to get these on some straight edge so that I can have a good glue up with the joints closed. Yeah. Then, okay, good. I think I'm going to, oh man. Let me work on one of these first. I think I might save this. Work on this tomorrow. But definitely, because I'm trying to keep my live at least an hour for now. And I've seen that I'm going over that hour mark. So I'm going to work on this one because this one seemingly is dry to show you the desired outcome that I'm looking for. Yeah. So guys, let me put up the sign. Put it up like this. So if you have managed to be on with me for this live, this is how I want to end, by asking for your support. And the best way you can support me is to smash that subscribe button. Yes, just smash that subscribe button. It will be greatly appreciated. And I just want to say thanks again for joining me from What's in Your Hand Woodworking. Looking forward to seeing you guys next time from What's in Your Hand Woodworking. And I'm out. See you guys again later.